Ahoy there, me hearties. This be Captain Silver Hook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hey, it's your boy Eric from the Two Old Pirates. Just want to go ahead and let everybody know I'm down in Rockport. I'm here to go ahead and let Vinny know that going into our second year now, so happy to be going into our second year, that he's official. And he's going to be with us all year long doing his crazy stuff. I'm down here in Rockport. I'm going to go and surprise him. And I hope that he's excited to be part of this great journey. So we're here at his abode. I can't wait to tell him he's official. He's going to be the second member of the Two Old Pirates going into 2021. It's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited to tell him that he's now officially a member of the Two Old Pirates. We're going to be doing this all through 2021. Oh, I was just coming over. I drove all the way from Corpus to surprise you. You're officially Two Old Pirate member number 2. You're officially, you're my partner.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I was just getting ready.
What the hell are you doing? I mean, what's the box? Where are you going? I was just coming here to let you know it's official. I came all the way down from Corpus.
Well, I got everything.
You didn't know I was coming, so what do you have?
I got movies. I got DVDs. I got music. Check it out. I got music on there.
But what do you have all that stuff for? I mean, everybody has stuff like that. But what are you doing with the box of it?
Pirates, right? We're gonna hit up the swap meet, hit up the flea market.
No.
We're gonna sell this stuff, right?
No. We don't pirate things.
I got bootleg games. I got Pringles.
Are you talking about selling that shit?
Yeah.
Like illegally?
You and me could hit up the swap meet down there. Hit up the flea market.
I don't want anybody seeing me around this stuff. No. It's a podcast, Vinny. We don't steal or we don't sell. We're not pirating stuff.
Where we talk about piracy. Yeah.
Oh no. No, we're Two Old Pirates. We both went to Rockport Fulton High School. That's why we're called the Two Old Pirates. We don't pirate things. We don't deal in illegal stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, no. We're just called that because that's our mascot from our high school days. We're Two Old Pirates. We're not. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're not going to the flea market.
No flea market.
Okay.
Okay. Are you almost ready?
Yeah, I got you. Hang on one second. Give me a sec.
So anyways, I'm so happy that he's going to be part of the Two Old Pirates.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it. My partner, he's being kind of a dick.
What?
So, I said I'm going to be there real quick.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we definitely are on the same page here, I think, now, and we're looking at 2021 as being a great year for the Two Old Pirates. So we can't wait to have you guys follow. Take it easy.
Now let's do this!
Hey, welcome everybody to podcast 30, and this is our 1-year anniversary podcast for the Two Old Pirates. Our first podcast went off October 29th, 2019, and it's now October 29th, 2020, so we've gone 1 full year. Didn't know that we'd still keep going, but I'm here, Vinny's here, we've got the Two Old Pirates, and we're still chugging along. How's it going so far, Vinny?
Pretty good. I mean, congratulations on 1 year. That's no small feat.
Yeah, when we started this out, my oldest boy, Jacob, was the producer, and then we asked Vinny to come in and produce because Jacob wasn't going to be able to do it with school and basketball and stuff, and now Vinny's slid in, and it's 100% legal because he graduated from Rockport, so he's a pirate just like I am. So the Two Old Pirates exist, and we are here to go into our second year.
We want to define that, but just a handful. But we did go to the same school. We're not the same graduating class, but we did go to the same school.
A little bit.
You're only as old as you feel.
Are you talking to me?
I'm a grown-ass man wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt, man.
And I'm wearing Boston as usual. So it's been a blast, and we just want to go and talk over some of the things that we did in that first year, some of memorable moments, memorable episodes, and to just have a flashback, basically. We hope that you enjoy some of the things that we talk about. If you have not seen any of our old podcasts or listened to them, we make sure that that we want you to know that you go back in time and you look at some of those and listen to some of those, because some of these interesting stories that we'll be talking about in this podcast, you need to go back and really listen.
You get the full scoop.
Yeah, we can only tell you, maybe a minute or so of something that's really, really actually interesting. But that's up to you, and we hope that you will do it.
we wanted to go ahead and open up with, a year ago when we started this, we had no idea where we'd be going with it. We were doing it in wherever we could find a place to go ahead and record the actual podcasts. We had a single microphone. We didn't have the webcam, I don't believe. And over time, we just went ahead and added. And we're not as professional as some other people, but we've got a good little following, and we've built it up to what it is now. And you know, to me, it's getting more and more successful. Vinny here is the person who's going to be the type of person who's going to keep me at a low key, to sit there and say, you can't be looking at the numbers every single day. You can't be, you know, are we getting bigger? And I don't mean to be like that, but it is kind of, and it's interesting whenever you see one of the podcasts that you put out gaining some traction, and it makes you feel like maybe we're making a little bit of a difference.
When you're very numbers oriented, I can see how like you compulsively you just want to check. So I'm basically like an Adderall pill in human form, and I'm here to tell him just to knock the phone out of his hand, you know.
And it's not that I want us to be like huge. It's just the idea is it would be. It's kind of no. I don't want to make any money. I don't want to make any money off of this. I just want to have fun and stuff. But it is entertaining to see that somebody's listening. I mean, if I was doing this and nobody was listening, you know, I would lie if I sat there and said that was enough. Because guess what? I could just look in the mirror and talk to myself and just get the same effect of nobody listening.
I'll buy you a volleyball with a handprint painted on it, and you could talk to the volleyball.
So anyways, we wanted to go and talk. That first one went off pretty good. We learned that you couldn't go as long as you want, as in talking and talking and talking. People will just tune you out. But on that first one, we talked a little bit about football. We talked a little bit about sports. My son was on and talked a little bit about today's rap, because I don't like rap at all, but he talked about today's rappers. And we also talked about the 2 books that I've written about the Rockport Celtics and where I grew up and all the different street ball that I played over 30 years and stuff. So if you guys are interested in that,
which you should check out, How the Ball Bounced.
Well, how the ball bounces,
and then how the ball bounced.
Yeah, so there's 2 volumes to it. It's and all the stories are 100% true. It's not just about basketball; it's about life. But anyways, what were some of the things, some of the different episodes or things that you thought were interesting over the year?
I would say probably the biggest topic, I think, that you guys, that this podcast really kind of drove home was early on, back when coronavirus, when there was only a few confirmed cases. Mm-hmm. I think you go look back when you're talking about how serious do you think this pandemic's going to be, and you really underestimated it. And then Gabriel said, he was like, put on a scale of 1 to 10, he put it at like a 7. And then it turns out, look at where we are now. We're rolling tape on this the end of October 2020, and you think back to when that video went up. Yeah. I mean, and
when that happened, we didn't know anything about having to wear masks.
Yeah, it was the time before that.
It was the very, very, very beginning of March, and we hadn't even broke for spring break yet at school. And, I was sitting there thinking it was nothing more than like any of the other like viruses that had gone around. And Gabriel at the time said, I'm out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it at least a 7, probably more than a 7. And then as we went by, that was a
damn good estimate.
That was an episode topic that repeated as we shut down schools, we shut down everything.
It just kept coming.
And we're here in 2020, and it's still here. I'm teaching with a mask on every single day, and we all know what we're going through right now in 2020. So when we first talked about that, we didn't really have any numbers here in America. We didn't have any deaths that were.
That's what's crazy is I even remember around Christmas time last year, I was visiting friends up in Toledo, and I remember reading the news, just keeping up with the news, like you do, and I was reading about like how there was like a new strain of this disease that had started spreading in China, and I'm like, that's weird. And then it's like, oh Jesus, look at
it was one of those things that we said it's over there, it's probably not going to affect us, and the government wasn't really saying, hey, be prepared and stuff. And then we've all seen what happened since then, and hundreds of thousands of deaths, and we're closing in on 9 million positive cases. We lead the world every single day.
USA #1.
Yeah, and Texas here.
Texas #1.
So it's a sad thing that we're still going through this, but that has been a major portion of this podcast. If you look back at over the history of the podcast, there's many episodes that we talk about that, and a lot of listeners tuned in, and we're appreciative of that, because we always try to say the one thing that we're always going to deal with is the truth.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the truth.
And I think it's important that you guys did cover that, for as often as you did, because you're putting that out there and you're making people more aware of it. And even right now, those of y'all watching or listening, stay safe. Stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep washing your hands. Keep wearing your mask. Keep social distancing. It's very important. So, hopefully, maybe when 2021 rolls around, we'll be able to, finally start taking the masks off.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, double fingers crossed for extra luck,
The Vulcan cross.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's almost like if you found somebody's a
diary.
Yeah, diary. This will be edited. But if you had a diary, you look back at some of the old podcasts where we say, it's not that big of a deal, then it a little bit later gets bigger, then the NBA's canceled, then this again. And so if you look back at some of those episodes, I think that you'll find it highly entertaining, sadly, where we were in the beginning and what we said on this podcast to where we're sitting tonight now with so many people that have become ill or passed away. I was going to say, you've been around for most of these people. We also had special guests during the course of the year. We didn't have a ton of them come on, but we did have some, and I'll let Vinny talk to you about some of the people that we had as special guests.
Well, I know you mentioned you had Jacob on.
Yeah, Jacob was on the very first one, which we didn't know if we'd do that every single episode, but he was here to talk about modern day rap.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys might remember I was a special guest a couple of times.
Yes, Vinny was the second one. He
came
out
talking a little bit about Twitch and video game speed running, and then in a previous podcast with the Bat Story, I talked about the importance of having physical media over something that's just purely digital. And then I believe you had Dave on to talk about...
Dave is a longtime friend, and we visited with him, and he is very deep into spirits and ghosts and the paranormal, and he discussed how he got there, how he didn't used to believe in things like that, and now how he is in tune with the spirit world, and he can come in and actually cleanse your house and take evil, bad spirits that might be putting the mojo on you out of you. And then the last one was Michael.
Michael, yeah.
And he was a truck driver, and he's a student, an ex-student of mine, and he called in from on the road and talked to us about what it was like being a trucker and how everything, this was at the time that coronavirus was really exploding to where they weren't able to get enough stuff to the certain grocery stores and Walmarts and stuff, so there was lines, and there was people that couldn't get milk or toilet paper or bread and different things like that. So, and then he was explaining about how hard it was for him because he's trying to stay safe, and he's going from market to market, picking up different things, dropping off to different cities all across the United States. He's not a local trucker. He's he's a national trucker. He's all over the United States. So, those are just a handful of the opportunities that we had to have somebody on. We had other people come in and talk about sports and stuff, but in all reality, it wasn't a star-studded show every single episode, but we did invite people in. In this second year, would you be up to inviting more people on?
Oh, yeah. We can have either, whether we have someone like Mike who calls in, or, someone else who comes and joins us, like, if we're able to go back to,
if anything opens back up,
on location, and meet up.
You guys have seen this office a lot with all the Celtic stuff, and it'd be kind of cool to have a nice place again, like how we used to have.
Yeah, it's weird seeing something blue in this sea of green, right? You just turn on the green screen feature, and everything back here just goes away. You put us on the moon.
But we're hoping in 2021 we can get more guests with entertaining and enlightening and informative content that you'll want to hear, not just to have somebody on, just something that you actually want. So if you hear anything out there that you want to know more about, and you say, hey, can you get this guy on? Or if you're somebody who wants to be on, make sure that you go ahead and send us a comment.
He's the guy.
I'll answer every single comment that comes in, and we'll invite you on. One of the biggest things that happened over the course of the year was Kobe Bryant and the people that died on that helicopter crash. You had people, crying and they couldn't believe what had happened and stuff, and it changed the face of the NBA, and people dedicated the season to him and stuff. So that was another big thing that happened. We had the forest fires out in California. How many tropical storms and tornadoes have we had? I mean, hurricanes that we've had now?
Enough that we had to go to the Greek alphabet again.
We had to go to the Greek alphabet. I think we're on number 25 right now. I think a 25th one was out there, but it wasn't going to come near us. It's going to go up the Atlantic coast. But the thing is, people that think that it's just 2020 is just about coronavirus, there's been so many things that have turned this into a real crap show. We talked about the wildfires out in California that
and the ones that were just in the rainforest and in Australia.
The Australian there was actual like dust and smog and stuff coming all the way from Australia, all the way across the Pacific into the United States, and we were picking it up here in the United States. That's how bad it was. Yeah. And so people think this will always be the year that they'll stamp coronavirus, but there's so many other things that went on and stuff.
I think one of the biggest things that was really going on that really came out this year was all of like the protesting.
Yes,
for like racial equality.
And people I think saw it on two different wavelengths.
Oh yeah,
I think some people only saw
protesting,
the looters,
rioting.
They saw the looters. They saw them burning down police stations and burning cars and breaking windows, and they set their feet down. Everybody's bad. And then you saw other people seeing people that were using their First Amendment right to go ahead and protest out in the streets that were doing it peacefully, that were not part of the bad, seeds. Yeah. And they were like, oh, that's a minuscule amount of people over there that are burning things down. The whole idea is a really good idea.
Well, I'll share something with you, kind of on the subject of protesting and going against the status quo and the establishment. I'll share you an anecdotal story that's really inspiring, that really lifted me up recently. I was in Houston around the time that Hurricane Delta had made landfall. Mm-hmm. There was so much beautiful artwork painted there on
on the side of the building.
Yes, like they had Barack and Michelle Obama on the side of like the Women's Center, and then another one was actually a museum of like contemporary and countercultural art. They had a big painting of Martin Luther King Jr. and the most important thing I saw was early voting. There was a line of people from that neighborhood that just went on just for streets as I was going. They were all waiting in line to vote. And that was, to me, just seeing all of those people who are usually so underrepresented and oppressed and kept down, that they've had, like, just to see everybody out there saying, we've had enough of this BS, we're voting. Like that, I was like, damn, dude. Like, as I drove by, I was just like...
It makes you feel proud.
It does.
Makes you feel good. Makes you feel American.
It does.
Real America.
Just for blocks. I just kept driving like to my next destination, and then in between the streets, every sidewalk was full of people because I drove past the polling place first and kept going, and then I realized these people are all here to vote, all of them, and it was insane.
Yeah,
it was so inspiring to see that.
Some of you that might go out and vote, because when you're watching this, we're going to be within days.
Yes.
Of the actual election. It's so important. I've already put up one podcast about how important it is to vote and why you should vote. Please go back and watch that, rewatch it if you want to, again, to go and give you the strength to go out and vote if you haven't yet. But I wanted to go and talk to you a little bit about, if you remember during the course of the year, do you remember anything, being the producer, seeing some of the different podcasts, and now that you're here, what is something that Eric hated during the course of the year?
No.
So we want to go ahead and talk about one thing that is a recurring thing with me on some of the podcasts, and it's something that I genuinely hate. It's in my fiber, it's in my being, it's in my DNA. I can't stand this, and I hate that people do like it. And I just want to see if Vinny, just off the top of his head, would possibly happen. No, he knows I don't hate a whole lot of things other than the Lakers or the Yankees. I don't really like liver and onions, cheesecake.
There's four
whatever.
things off. There's four.
So there's a whole bunch of things I don't like a lot of things. So here's the deal. But during the podcast, there's one recurring thing that I went back to, and let's see. Do you have any idea of what that could be?
Grey's Anatomy.
You are correct, sir. You are correct. I freaking hate Grey's Anatomy. If you know me and you're one of my students, you're a past student, you're a woman. I'd rather watch Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars. Those are more real than Grey's Anatomy. Let me ask you a question. One of the things that we got a lot of comments on were I would tell Eric's true stories.
Oh, yeah.
And so during the course of the year, we did about 8 or 9 of them. We've done 29. This will be number 30 episodes on here, but we didn't do one for every single one. So we've done one for about 30% of the time. So I was going to say, in Vinny, and we've not talked about this, out of all the Eric's true episodes, and they're all 100% true, but was there one that was just like the one that was just outlandish, funny, the best?
For me, on the spot, I can't like two come to mind. I'm not gonna try to pick, so I'm just gonna say each of them. First one is your mass rabbit murderer friend, the guy who just
If you go back and listen to that episode and stuff, it's a very interesting story. But go ahead.
The other story though that came to mind is the one where you ran your friend over with a car. Because like y'all were going fishing or whatever, and then like he for some reason he got out on the hood and kept telling you to go faster, like, and then you just went faster. So
yeah, there's moments in your life when you sit there and you think, did I really do this, or did this really happen? It doesn't always have to be something bad. Maybe you won the lottery or something like that. You scratched off $150. You're like, is this real? That was one of those real, is this real moments? I really thought Mark was dead.
I also like the story you talk about when you hit your other friend accidentally in the head with the bat. I just like how not so like my favorite part of that story was the video rental store that your friend worked at, just because I remember that store very fondly.
So he can tell you, he wasn't there because he wasn't even born when this happened and stuff. But the idea that I included areas that he knows,
that depends. Like, I mean, it depends on. When you hit your friend.
Yeah.
When that,
what I'm trying to say is he remembers Fox Video.
Yeah.
So that means that if you don't believe me, I'm putting like little chunks of information in there that he can vouch. There was a Fox Video, and there's a guy named Carlos that worked in there, and it happened, man. So if you're wondering, if you're just catching this and you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, you need to go back and look at some of our old podcasts and look for Eric's true stories, and you'll hear some of these things, and you'll say, that dude is lying, and I'm telling you, they're 100% true. So let me ask you a question.
All right.
Did you have from listening to any of the things besides the Eric's true stories or anything like that, did you ever see or hear anything that was like a funny moment or a favorite moment?
But I always liked when y'all would do the lightning round questions.
Oh,
like those, like
top 10,
like top
10 quick things.
Yeah, the 10 quick things, or like the 5 quick questions, or like this or that, like kind of like the would you rather type situations. I always like those just because it's always interesting to see someone's opinions on something when you put them on the spot, and it's like. It's almost like Family Feud in a way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the first thing that comes to mind.
Probably one of my favorite moments is with one of the things that I added to was ruining songs. And what I do is
you just started doing that.
Yeah, I've only done it like 3 times. But what happens is I find a song, I find the actual meaning by the songwriter, and we're all under the impression over it could be decades that a song means something, and then I go and on the podcast I ruin it. I let you know what it's about. And so I think it would probably be Bryan Adams, Summer of '69. That's because it's a taboo kind of subject, and you don't want small ears hearing it, little children and stuff. But yeah, I think being able to explain what Bryan Adams' Summer of '69 was really about was probably one of my favorite things, because I got a lot of comments from friends saying, dude, I never knew that, you ruined it. I thought it was a love song, and and I'm all like, yeah, I didn't mean to do that, but I did mean to do that. So I'd say the episode where I talked about the Summer of '69 ruining that would probably be one of my favorite things, because I got literally so many comments on my Facebook feed where they were just like, why'd you do this? I've listened to this song for 35 years, and I also want to sit there and say that we were blessed to pick up our 100th subscriber on our YouTube page really early on.
Milestones, yeah.
And so our 100th subscriber. We've been trying to keep in touch with every single 100th. Was Dave, the old friend, rabbit murderer, and he's very spiritual with the
rabbits.
No, he's very spiritual with the paranormal. Our 200th was Alvin, an ex-student of mine from about 20 years ago, and he happened to be the 200th. And the 300th, they waited at 299 until they saw us at 299 on YouTube, and then they subscribed, and that was Gabriel that I taught last year at Ingleside. He was one of my ex-students, and he had been following it with his girlfriend. And the thing is, like I was telling Vinny the other day, I checked our online, and with Spotify and Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, which sponsors us, and iHeartRadio. There's we have people that are listening in the United States. But do you remember any of the other countries I told you about?
Yeah, Germany, Ireland, the United Kingdom,
France,
Scotland was one of them. Yeah.
So there's at least 5 other countries that we know of that we have. In Ireland, 3% of our followers are from Ireland. But with the 3% from Ireland, that's kind of cool. I think 1% from Germany, 1% from France, 1% from UK.
Taking this
England.
all around the world.
So that's with us doing minimal work on that side of things. The podcast is both visual and auditory, and the auditory people, we've never really pushed that. That's like a secondary thing to us. We've always done videos. So I guess we're going to go ahead and end this crazy first year.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at the next year with more. I'll be coming to you with more true Eric stories, more ruining songs for you. Anything else that you want to see or hear, I can talk about. We can cover anything. And Vinny over here is going to be like our special IT tech guy. Besides his
great, I get that title again.
Instead of being, he's going to of course have his top 10 things. He'll have his own stories and stuff. But his true passion has always been around electronics and video games and music, and so he's going to be able to answer any questions. He can maybe challenge some of you guys on top scores if you want to go ahead and go online and play something, or if you can take a snapshot of a picture with your top score on something, maybe you can go ahead and dominate you on that and break you in two. But what would you want to say from your point of view for the next year? How you look at it going?
I'm really hopeful. I'm really glad that you invited me on. I mean, I'm looking forward to a great year of sharing some stories with you, talking about whatever comes at us from the ether in terms of news, whatever happens in the world, the goings on, for better or worse, and talking with you about music, about movies, maybe about video games, our favorite albums, throughout things like that, and maybe maybe Eric, he can ruin a song for you. Maybe I can tell you something that you didn't know about a random video game, or I could explain some quirkiness in some piece of media, or something that you might not have known just casually in a really popular game.
But anyways, so we hope that you'll stick around for the next season. For those of you that have been here since day one, love you.
You're the real MVPs.
Care about you. I hope for everybody that's watching this that your families are doing well, that the coronavirus is not getting to anybody, and that someday when we're doing this podcast, it'll be on normal circumstances where we're all healthy, safe, and free to be who we...
You and me.
Yeah. You and me together.
That's not what I was
That's
quoting.
The other thing. That's the other thing. I hate Grey's Anatomy, and I frickin' hate Gwen Stefani. I hate. Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
I was quoting the musical from the '60s.
You and me together.
She had that hit with Moby. She had that.
I hate her voice.
You hate Moby too?
I don't even know what happened to Moby. It's like he just disappeared or something after like Eminem picked on him or something. He just like went and cried or something. But seriously, when we talk about Gwen Stefani, man, I'm just a girl. I would just string. I'm not a violent person. I'm not violent. There's just no talent there. There's no freaking talent. I don't want to hear Holla Back Girl. I don't want to hear Oh, well, they did "It's My Life." That was a cover by
That Talk.
Yeah,
I was just about to say they butchered that song.
So yeah, I'm just like, dude, she has no freaking talent. Now she's on The Voice. She's making millions of dollars, and I'm all like, she can't sing. But then I thought, what did they do on what do you call it?
The Voice,
No,
American Idol.
Yeah, American Idol. Paula freaking Abdul. She was a Laker cheerleader. She was a choreographer for Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's all, hey, you can dance pretty cool. You want to have a recording And then they're like, opposites attract. Rush, rush. She couldn't sing. Listen to her. She can't carry a tune. But she was just like, oh, I'm a pretty face, so I'll just sing in this microphone. And she's telling people who can sing and who can't sing. Jesus Christ, people. Come on. We went from her, drunk ass, to Gwen Stefani. And I'm not saying anything. She's a bad person. But goddamn, she can't sing. She couldn't sing in the 90s. She can't sing now. Do you understand how passionate I am about this? You mix Gwen Stefani's song with a Grey's Anatomy episode, and my head would fucking explode.
Remember when Lionel Richie was dancing on the ceiling? He's also a judge at American Idol. Remember that? Remember when?
Yeah, but he had talent, man. He wrote
but still, that was a really
that man
cheesy
wrote
ass
"Hello."
song.
He wrote "Hello." All right, and he was dating a blind chick in that video, and she looked at his face with her hands, and I remember that 1984. Those two songs, the summer of '84, "Hello" and "Against All Odds" by Phil Collins. Those just. Wow, those two just beat each other up over the 1984 about which one was the best. Love both of them, but Gwen Stefani sucks.
That's how we're going out, huh? That's how the season ends.
The
Just
ends
screw
with
her.
Gwen Stefani sucks. Grey's Anatomy sucks. Leonard Skinner sucked. Led Zeppelin. The Eagles.
You're starting to sound like Joe Dirt rattling off the bands he likes.
No,
I
man.
like Van Halen, not Van
Hagar.
Hagar.
But the Eagles, they were just watered down country music. Take it easy. Take it.
I think
Come
you need to
just
listen to that song. Actually,
No.
don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy, my man.
Winslow, Arizona. Come on, man. They're one of the biggest selling bands. Them and Led Zeppelin. Neither one of them could freaking do shite. I'm sorry.
I think you're stuck in your own Hotel California.
I think there's gonna be a heartache tonight because I'm the new kid in town.
And same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
So this is our first year, as you can see. I'm tired, and so we're gonna end this first season. Vinny's on board. Two Old Pirates coming to you, and I hope that you enjoy this next season. And subscribe, like, comment.
Yeah, the button's like right down there.
It's a red button.
It might
It's a
be
red
up
button.
in one of the corners, depending on where you're seeing
It's
this.
a red button,
It's somewhere.
and you just click it, and boom, you're part of the family.
It's done.
Join the family. Peace. 2021's coming quick.